What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the weekly close here. A bunch of really interesting charts to look at today. You can see here in the background already the weekly chart. Then we have the Bitcoin dominance chart and also the CME chart to look at. So we're going to kick things off here on the highest time frame on the weekly chart for today. Look for the support there and look for the critical levels there. Then go down into the daily chart and confirm everything over there before we then move over to Bitcoin dominance and the CME chart. So of course, guys, I hope you found the opportunity in this current crash and could spot it and have been watching the videos, of course, because we've been aiming at this area here for the last 2 to 3 weeks since we printed a last all-time high basically of $123,000, right? That's why I told you that is the likely level that we go down to if we lose the current range, and then of course a really important level to find a bounce on. So here's a trend line that we've been looking at here for a while on the channel as well, connecting all the tops here since 2017, the 8-year resistance line, right? And that of course way more relevant over on the monthly chart, and we had a close there right below that line. But now what we did here on the weekly chart a few weeks ago is that we broke it here on a weekly closing basis for the very first time since 2017. So that of course on its own a massive sign here, and there we can see that line is now being retested, and we're trying to close the weekly candle this week here above the line. This is of course connecting all the bodies here, the tightest spot possible, and giving us the most connection points therefore as well, and therefore very strong here confirmed trend line. Staying above there is crucial from this perspective, and also that comes here in perfect alignment with the prior range highs here. You can see this key area of interest here coming from the previous $108,000 and $109,000 top, and then here also from the previous range here $112,000 top. So that massive support here that we found right here on the weekly chart, and that's the key area that we want to hold. To the upside, still the same thing here. We want to find a bounce here in this area, break the previous top here at right around $119,500, and then continue upwards towards $135,000. Right, guys, that's it here for the weekly chart. Let's go down to the daily chart, and there we can see the massive support cluster that we found there. This is of course something that I've been speaking about a long time here on the channel, and this dynamic support line here is still looking for confirmation, right? With the second touch point we have suggested it, now we're looking to confirm it. And there is of course a very strong area where we have the 50 EMA, the 50 SMA is also in the area. Just below that, the weekly demand area that we just saw on the other chart. And then also, of course, here, the 50 on the Fibonacci retracement right below us, and the 38.2 just above us where we're retracing this local uptrend here. So key area, and if this breaks down now, then of course a strong sign here that this uptrend here is broken, and that we're going down here to at least the $100,000 range where we can find the daily 200 EMA here. So this, of course, you can see also coming with massive historic support and resistance, a key area. But this very likely that we find a bounce here, and then of course it becomes decisive that we reclaim the $117,300 level here back as support, and then we have another chance here to continue in this trend, and the pivotal point continues to be right at $120,000 here to break it, and then to confirm that we're going up towards the $130,000 to $135,000 range. Right, guys, so everything played out as expected, as we've been talking about since we've been in this range up here. You can see this was literally since the middle of July, and nothing has changed here. We've been trading sideways here within this range, and that was the key level here right at $117,300, like I told you guys over on X as well. Therefore, quick reminder to catch all my quickest updates, especially now while I'm on the road for the next 3 to 4 weeks. The easiest way to catch everything is over on X, and also for news updates and quick fire TA updates over on Instagram, TikTok, and also here on YouTube Shorts. So make sure you subscribe and following everywhere to stay up to date with my full analysis. And guys, I'm also going to start sharing some more personal stuff over on Instagram, so keep your eyes out for that. If you're interested in some more lifestyle content while I'm traveling across Europe with my girlfriend, then yeah, make sure you're following over there. It's going to be a fun ride. Okay, guys, so this is all clear here now. The levels are very obvious. Of course, that's the key area that we want to reclaim. This is the key area that we want to hold now. If this breaks down now, of course, being a strong weekly level, then we can expect a massive drop here, at least to $100,000, where we see massive support, but also from a psychological perspective, of course, a key level. Okay, guys, now moving over to the next chart here. We're going into the CME chart first, actually. And there's another support that we just found and a gap that we closed. We had this gap here that came all the way here from July 10th, where it closed here Thursday. Maintenance gap, not a weekend CME gap. You see here, we closed the Thursday candle and then opened the Friday candle right up here. And there we see that gap was right between 117,000 and just below $114,000. That gap is now officially closed. We can see here specifically as well, we still have a very strong trend going on the CME chart. Therefore, potential that the move goes a bit deeper here into the $111,000 to $110,000 area, but that's where we want to find a massive bounce and then close above all these key levels that we just saw over on the regular daily chart. So from this perspective here as well, of course, massive support. Now that we close the CME gap, that we here now find a bounce in this area. This chart, of course, not trading today. This candle here is coming from Friday. So important to see if this holds here now and then that we open within the gap again. And then the same thing here. We want to reclaim this key area here right around $116,700 to confirm this level here that we have lost back as support. CME chart, of course, we're sticking to the daily chart. That's the key levels that we want to look at. Of course, we're focusing on the Friday close and the Monday open. Of course, guys, I'll be back tomorrow to update you on everything. Tomorrow I have a big trip planned. We're driving across Spain, so got to see how I push out the content. But most likely that will be short form content here on YouTube Shorts and then also on TikTok and Instagram. Right, guys, now over to the Bitcoin dominance chart. And here, I hate to tell you, I told you so, that this daily trend has been broken and that we are likely coming down to the weekly support level and finding a massive bounce here. Of course, a chart that I've been talking a lot about here, a key level that I've been talking about. And you can see here, this red line here, the thin red line, right at 60.3% was the absolute key level to hold here. We see massive diagonal support line, the 50-week SMA here, and then of course this key horizontal level consisting of the prior range highs and lows here, giving us massive support. And now, of course, if we get back above here, 63.2% and can reclaim this range here, then it's very likely that we're continuing upwards here in this trend towards then the 68% range. Then we're very, very close to our target area of 71 to 74%, which has been the top for Bitcoin dominance historically. Of course, we've been talking a bunch about it here on the channel, especially if you want to look at it as well on the monthly chart and everything else that I broke down on the larger time frames, such as Dixie and Bitcoin. And make sure to check out the last video. It's up there in the corner now. And there I went really, really precisely into potential scenarios for the cycle top. And also, of course, the negative correlation of Dixie and Bitcoin and some other charts. Really good video. Make sure to check that out. Right, guys, and that's basically it here. We see that we have found massive support, not only on the Bitcoin chart, also here Bitcoin dominance. Of course, people ask me all the time if is it possible that Bitcoin dominance continues to move up while Bitcoin is dropping? And the answer is very clear and also very visual here. Yes, because when Bitcoin is dropping, people are reallocating their money that they have invested in altcoins into safer assets, such as, of course, stable coins, but also Bitcoin, since the volatility is much smaller than in some of the altcoins, of course. Right, guys, and that's it for today, this week actually. Some really, really key support levels to hold here across the board on different charts, as you've seen. And of course, I'm going to keep you updated here if anything develops today. And also, I'll be back tomorrow with the weekly open to really look at the candles, how they close on the different charts, and to identify whether it's more likely that we're moving upwards or downwards here in the coming week. Guys, really appreciate it if you made it all the way to the end of the video, and especially if you're new to the channel, a warm welcome to you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got some value out of the analysis and it got you to join us here in Team Bitcoin Easy. And if it did, you know what to do. Smash up that subscribe button, that notification bell, and while you're at it, smash up that like button as well. It helps out the channel more than you know. And if you got something to add here or any questions to ask, I'm more than happy to answer them down in the comment section below. Right, guys, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Sunday now. Hope you guys are doing the same. And as always, happy trading and see you soon.